just for the tape, if you could state your name and which role you're currently running for.
Yep. Alex Barkamore. I'm running for the Student Union president.
Superb. Alex, what drew you to the particular role?
Just the partly no. I knew that all the electorates was stepping down. I thought that it was a chance that someone new could come in who had a fresh interpretation of how things were coming along from coming from a separate campus. I come from the theatre, so I've seen the university from a different side of things. Yeah.
Brilliant. Dream scenario. What's the big aim that if you were to succeed?
The big aim if I succeed is to I want to try and make the university more comfortable for everyone, because I know that with moving away to another city, and if you just come straight out of school, or if you're maybe an older student who's a bit nervous about coming to university as a more mature student, it's such a big leap that it feels very daunting for everyone. And I want to try and implement things into the university that make everyone feel more comfortable and safer, and rather than having a million and one things thrown at you and then worrying about trying to walk home or whatever. The small things that shouldn't be worries, trying to improve those small things just so that everyone can work on their studies and feel more happier.
Brilliant. What's your current perception of the union right now?
I believe it's working fantastically at the moment, and I'll be honest, from where I've been stood, there's been so many changes in the past year, particularly with so many new people coming in, both electorates and just people coming in for new jobs. It's improved immensely. So the kind of from where I've been sat of looking at societies in particular, societies improved hugely. Where funding's been going, the regulations on how training is going to be improved, and the way that we're looking at improving the training towards sports societies, student-led services in general, all part-time officers, and trying to give everyone better training towards mental health, and trying to improve training towards making it feel making whatever you're trying to provide safer. It's just been so much cleaner and more concise than in previous years, where you kind of beat around the bush and everyone's been going off, trying to so for example with the development plans, people been planning development plans for the past few years, and they kind of write them and then don't maybe not stick to them and instead of that, looking to actually what does your job do, what is your role, what does your role entail, and actually working on improving that role in particular, as opposed to just you should do this, doing a development plan and stick to it for the year. That's really hard to do because different factors occur throughout the year.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Personally, how do you deal with problems in a professional setting?
Personal problems, I try and deal with them myself, and if that's difficult, I'll go to the wellbeing service or anything like that if I've got an internal issue or whatever, or I'll go to the GP and I'll try and get it sorted as fast as possible, because I don't want to affect my studies. If it's a problem that's affecting other people, I will listen as much as possible. I'll try and take in everything that's been said, take it in myself, discuss with the person further about what's going on, and try and be as honest and or try and be as professional and clean and honest with that person as possible. So rather than giving them advice about it's fine, you'll get through it, trying to actually try and work towards a solution as opposed to emotional support. And if I feel like the person needs emotional support, I'll be there for them in a professional setting of talking to them and listening to what they have to say. But if it needs to go any further, then taking it to either someone above me, like in the union, or suggesting maybe going talking to wellbeing and taking it further, because that's gone beyond my personal control.
Brilliant. How would you handle being in the limelight of the university and the pressures that comes with?
It'll be tough, but I think I'll be okay with it, because with coming from a theatre background and coming from any kind of performance, and I have done sports outside of university in the past and stuff, and I have done multiple other activities in general. I've always taken it that I can put a face out there and be as smiley and talkative as possible, and then listen to what people have to say, take anything in that needs to be said, be honest. If someone needs an honest answer, I'll give them an honest answer where needed, and then listen to any kind of rebuttal that they have, and then kind of just keep, and then I'll deal with anything that maybe any kind of struggles or anything I have, or any worries or anything. I'll deal with that myself, and then talk to someone above me on outside of the limelight. So when it comes to being out there, I'll just try and be a smiling and positive person, trying to just radiate a bit of happy energy, which I think people need nowadays.
Brilliant. Just a small scenario for you then. Mm-hmm. So a student who is in distress comes up to you randomly in the university, obviously knowing who you are, mm-hmm. and is directing actual blame towards you. How would you deal with that?
If they were to direct blame towards me, I would listen to what they have to say. I would try and get them to explain to me as to exactly where that complaint came from, or what situation it is that they're experiencing it. If it was just, I don't like you, then that's just I'll listen to that, but then I'll try and be like, oh, so why is that? What's going on? And then trying to get to the root of whatever they've got to say, and rather than try and be upset or taking it on all on myself and be feeling horrible about it, I would just be like, right, okay, this is a complaint that has been made. Can we try and would you like to listen to what they have to say, take it to someone else, or ask them to take it to someone else, get it in writing, and then try and move forward with it as an actual professional complaint, as opposed to just taking it upon myself and not feeling bad about it, because that's not the way to do it. That just makes me feel worse as well. So if I'd try and take it as professionally as possible, and just go, okay, let's try and work on that, and I would try and get myself as a person across to them, as opposed to, because chances are it'll be something that I've done or something that isn't being done properly, and then I want to try and improve that, because that's all I want to do. I want to try and improve things and improve myself at the same time.
Brilliant. In your experience, what is the key to developing a good team?
Developing a good team, communication is an obvious answer, and that is one I'll go with, but it is an obvious answer, because if I'm leading a team, I want them to have as much input as me. I'm just going to try and delegate chances of discussion between us fairly. So as opposed to me talking loads and then just having it throwing everything out there that I've got to say, and then assuming people are going to do it, it would be I'm going to lay out what I have to say, let everyone else have their chance to say exactly what they want to say, and then move forward together as a team, and then work out who's best suited for what job, what needs to be done together, and then delegating between us who needs to do what, and then if people need to work together on something because it's a bigger project, that's absolutely fine. We'll work that together. We'll work that together, and that's just how I work as a person. I want everyone to get an equal amount of work. I don't want anyone doing 100 times more than anyone else, and I want everyone to have as much say, and as opposed to everyone having being left out.
Brilliant. Carrying on with the teamwork theme, what do you do to maintain trust in an actual team? So you've got your team together. How do you maintain the trust between everybody?
In a professional setting, I would try and implement multiple meetings and multiple moments where we can have a chat and discuss where we're at. So if someone's struggling, we can be honest about that, and then if someone is far ahead of something, we can be honest about that and then work out right. So if someone is struggling with something in terms of maybe they're not up to date with something, or they're finding something that they've got to do harder than anyone else, or the tasks they've got to do, just having that open dialogue between us to talk about what's going on, why is this a struggle. That's fair enough. Everyone struggles with something. It could be an environmental factor outside what's going on outside of university or outside of the job. It could be the fact that the job itself is very tasking or taxing, or it could be that the job itself is just a very large scope, and for example, trying to tackle my point is trying to tackle loneliness. That's a very hard thing to do, because it's you can't just say I've fixed that. But what you can say is, well, we've worked towards this, and what we have implemented is this, and if we're struggling to implement this, we can work together on right, okay, so this person's further ahead in what they're doing. Maybe they can, once they're done, they can support you in that. So then we can work together and delegate between the work, because every job is different. Every job and every task has different difficulties, and everyone has their own factors coming into what they're doing. That's just being human. So just accepting that and working towards so that each task gets done properly, and just announcing that if someone is struggling, that's fine. You know, we are allowed to struggle, we are allowed to find things hard, but we are here to support each other if that is happening.
Super, thank you very much. Next one, the standard one that we ask, everybody will always ask. If you can describe a time when you successfully persuaded another person to change his/her way of thinking or behaviour.
One of the things I've done recently, I was chatting with someone, and they weren't quite sure why I painted my nails. This is a bit of a weird thing to talk about, but I've done this because I wanted, because I wanted to, but also because the person that asked me said, well, that why would you do that? You're just showing yourself up. Especially in this campaign, it's showing myself up. It's maybe giving off the wrong kind of impression. The reason I've done it is because I want people to know that I do have a somewhat of an effeminate side. I'm not this hard rock kind of person. I talk about my feelings openly, and I talk about any kind of struggles I have openly. And I want people to do that with me as well, which they often do. And I try and be as good a listener as anyone can be, because I want to be a good person to people, and I want to become friends with people. And they thought that I was just basically craving attention by putting this nail polish on. And the reason I did it ultimately was because I wanted to do it myself, and then I spoke to them about it and said, well, it's very common for males and people in general to have mental health issues, especially in this day and age, like a lot. And having been someone who's been to wellbeing and experienced those and have struggles, I thought it was a nice way of showing that I'm quite open talking about how I'm feeling, and I'm quite open being who I am. I don't want other people to try and impact, or I am who I am. I'm not going to let people try and change my entire character or personality at all. I want to be me, and I've decided that, and I don't want to change my own aesthetic or my own attitude towards people because someone says it's wrong. I listen to everyone. I give everyone an equal opportunity and equal chance to talk to me, because I feel like I'm quite decent with people. And so I told them that I did it because I wanted to just kind of highlight that this is who I am. I'm different from other people, but that's okay. Everyone is allowed to be different, and that I wanted to be someone different. I wanted to be different from the person sat next to me, not even in a campaign setting, just as a person, and I'm happy with that. And they kind of, after a while, looked at me and went, "It doesn't actually look that bad, does it?" And I went, "No, it doesn't." I'm not preaching to everyone to do it or anything, because there was a movement a few years back where men started painting one nail as a sign of being able to talk to each other, and that was kind of where it came from and it stemmed from. And they just looked at me and said, "It's quite pretty," and I went, "Yeah, because men are allowed to be pretty nowadays. You don't have to be part of the LGBTQ+ community or anything like that. You don't have to be anyone to do that. Just be who you want to be and enjoy who you are as a person." And they kind of just went away with a smile and said, "I used to play with Barbies when I was a kid." I went, "Yeah." Said a lot of people.
Brilliant. If you can tell me how you organise, plan and prioritise your work, that would be great.
Plan and prioritise. In my work, I try and prioritise in terms of a university. Currently, I'm trying to prioritise university first, because that's why we came to university. That's why I'm here. I'm coming to get a degree, and then I've been trying to prioritise that at the very top. But if something comes up and someone is struggling, and I have had it where people he's spoken to me and they're really struggling and they're having a moment where they're just not okay, or something's going on or something's happened, that moves to the top of the priority list, because I don't want the last thing I want is to be selfish as a person, and the last thing I want is for people to ever. I don't want to ever feel like I could have helped someone when I didn't. And so if anyone needs my help, I try and put that at the top of my priority. And I know that's going to be very difficult with thousands of students under my belt, but if I can try and make people smile a bit easier or someone's day slightly better, that is the one thing I want to do in my life, and I feel like that's what this job can allow me to do. And it's why I wanted to become a primary school teacher. It's why I wanted to go into drama and everything. I just wanted to be able to put a smile on someone's face each day and make their day slightly easier. It could be better, could be worse, but slightly easier. And that's that's currently my priority, is to try and make everyone's day a bit easier.
Brilliant. In your opinion, what takes precedent here at the university, education or community?
Ooh. Personally, community, from a union standpoint, because education is why we're here, is why we're paying a lot of money to be here, it's why we are studying, is to get better education, to either get the career we want or to do whatever. However, that's the university's job, I believe. I think that the university and the lecturers that are here provide a fantastic service in teaching people and allowing people to be creative or be, academic however they want, and to do what they do in this setting in Derby, and it is fantastic. Having met loads of lecturers in my time, they are fantastic. Some find it harder than others. They all are here to provide that service for people. The union, I feel like we are here to provide the community, to make it easier for students to be here, to keep them here, and make each day slightly more comfortable, slightly better, allow people to explore any extracurricular things they want to do for it being, whether they want to create their own radio show, or whether they want to join a society and play, like my society, play board games, whether they want to go and play rugby on a rugby pitch. We allow that service of they can be who they want to be beyond the academic and the education standpoint, and it kind of allows us to breed this better community of people and breed this kind of we are who we want to be kind of outlook on life. You can be a nursing student while also in a 4-piece rock band, and that's what our union provide. It allows our characters to thrive. We're maybe not learning academically something through the union, but it allows our characters, our personalities to just shine through and make, hopefully, us more interesting people in the future.
Brilliant. Final one of these serious type runs. How do you sell your ideas to other people?
By being honest with them. I don't like cheap like this will improve everything, this will improve your life, like all these open-ended like comments. I think that it's better to just be honest with someone. Tell someone if I was to sell myself, I would tell them exactly why I want to do this job, and it is because I want it, and that is quite a heavy part of it. I do want to be president. That will be an amazing opportunity just as a job. But I would also be honest in that I have seen I have experienced other things in the union, and the university. So I've experienced the wellbeing service. I've experienced other campuses and things like that. I'll just explain things in an honest manner. But I'll also be honest in that I haven't experienced everything. So I don't know everything that happens, but know that no student can ever say they have. So, but I'd see myself as a blank canvas in that I don't know what happens all the time. I am not 100% certain of everything that happens constantly. Show me. I'm open to being shown things. I'm open to learning things, and I want it, rather than trying to sell myself. I would rather have a dialogue where I give something and they give something to me, and then we both learn something and both gain something from it, rather than just telling someone vote for me, or trying to sell someone a chocolate bar. Like I sell clothes in a shop. I don't tell someone that this suit is going to make you look fantastic. I say, well, maybe if you try this, or if I'll be honest, if maybe we don't have a size that you need, go to another shop. That's absolutely fine. We cannot provide every single service. So just being completely honest with someone and being aware of any market or any kind of like network of like businesses or franchises, or just kind of like, you know, facilities of like, maybe our university don't provide a, I don't know, they, let's say they don't have a kanji club, which is a Japanese board game. We don't have a kanji club. Okay, but would you like to start one? Having that open dialogue of, if there's something that we don't provide, either can you provide it, or can we work together to provide it, rather than providing a lie of, oh, there's something kind of similar, you know, we'll offer that, but rather than giving something that is not, just having that open dialogue and being honest with people.
Brilliant. Thank you. They're the serious ones done.
Yeah, cool.
So you can relax.
Cool.
You can relax a little bit. It's fine. Do you want a drink or anything like that? You're all right?
Yeah, we got a bottle of water.
Yeah, I've got a bottle of water, of course. Sure.
Cheers.
There you go. Absolutely. These are really quick fire questions. They're quite fun. They're quite silly. A little bit of that, it brings out the other side of you. Right? So we've had our business. Let's have a little bit of fun, right? So very quickly, these ones, because we've got 22 minutes, mate.
Apologies.
But no, don't apologise. It's brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Very quickly, what's your favourite word?
Diplodocus.
Brilliant.
Dinosaur.
Right, yeah. What's your least favourite word?
Hate.
Superb. What sound or noise do you love?
Really bizarre music. So like there's a really weird like sound effect band that has like loads of crashing noises and stuff like that. Just really bizarre music.
Cool. What sound or noise do you hate?
Ooh. That constant ringing I have in my ear.
Brilliant. What's your dream job?
Teaching English in a foreign country.
What job would you never like to do?
Collecting taxes from someone who's died.
What stimulates you as a person?
Meeting a new face each day and just having a chat with someone and learn something new.
And what is your pet peeve about others?
Chill with their mouths open.
Finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Wow, that was sick.
Brilliant. Absolutely superb. Any last words?
Yeah, I'm part of the Smarties campaign, and I'll try my best.
Superb. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.